Hey guys, welcome back to Film is More Fun. Today I want to go through how to reload a disposable camera. You remember that old white table? It's going to be plain Jane. I think the best view and the best way to get this across is just an overhead view, close up of the camera. What even is a camera? I don't know. Just be forewarned. If it's boring, it might be boring. So with that said, let's hop over.
All right.
So what we'll need is a disposable camera that's been shot, a new roll of film, and I just want to point out, now this is a generic disposable. It was a single use, and obviously we're going to get a couple more uses out of it, but there's different feeding systems that some of these have. This is a cassette type. Basically, we're going to load the film into this cassette, and then it's going to be pulled out and sucked back into the original cassette. Other disposables, rather, use kind of a spool system. This didn't come out of this, but instead of having the film wound and feeding from this cassette, it'll actually kind of wrap around and feed from this. All right, so opening this guy up, on this one side there's a little lever we're just going to depress. That's going to open this. Okay, there's a hinge on this one side, in quotations, hinge, right? But some of these might have two latches on each side. Different ones are going to open up different ways, but they'll split open. And this did have a wrap on it, by the way. So yours might have a wrap around it, a sticker, something like that that's going to be around this. But you'll want to get it kind of naked and then open it up. And the first thing we're going to want to do is reset this counter. You can see right now it's showing 0 shots left. So in this particular camera, there's a little lock mechanism here, and we can actually release this right here by spinning this wheel. Okay, once we disengage the lock, we're then going to advance that however many frames. This is 27. I've been using 24 rolls, so I'm going to move that to 25. Then I'm going to re-engage this little lock. Now, from here on out, this portion should be done in the dark, because what we need to do is get all the film out of the cassette, and we need to load it into this feeding cassette, or the feeder cassette is what I'm going to call it. If it has a name, like a real legit name, let me know. I don't know what it is. I'm going to call it a feeder cassette. So now we're in the dark here. Okay, so we're going to pull this all the way out. Okay, big hella mess. Now you want to coil this up as really as tight as possible. And one thing I've noticed too is try not to bend this, like fold it over, right? Don't crease this, because if you do try to pull your leader back out, it can be a real big pain in the butt, because this doesn't come right back out without opening the cassette. If you're trying to kind of get it out with a negative or some tape or something like that, it could be a pain in the butt. So I always try to like kind of curl this as tight as humanly possible, but not bend it. Okay, so we're going to coil that up. All right, so we have effectively wound everything up. It's nice and tight, as you can see. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to take the feeder cassette, and there's two portions of this, okay? You have a bottom and then a top. And because this is all in the dark, again, we're still in the dark, or else you'd blow your film out. I would recommend practicing with this a couple times before giving it, the blind go round, you know what I mean? Because you really want to know how everything's set up and get a feel for it. And what I do is I set these up a particular way. Like I know, okay, this is supposed to close like this. What I do in the light, before I turn the light out, is I will set these up just like this, so I can kind of feel for them in the dark. So after I've rolled this up nice and tight, I can kind of feel around, and I'll feel for the bottom. I put this in the bottom, then I'll feel for the top, and I know, flip that right around. Oh, it's good to go. All right. Now, this could be safe-ish to take out and load into the camera in the light, but these really aren't light sealed, so I would recommend dim light. So we'll pop this cassette back in. All right, extend out our film. Then it goes in like yeah. I also always double check, yes, did I take care of the advancing of the frames? I did do that. So then we should be good to close everything up. This thing is going to leak like a sieve, most likely, because, there's no sealing protection. And that's where some tape can come in. Just grab some electrical tape, if you don't want the light leaks. I mean, somebody, you might like the light leaks, that might be your thing, and, super artsy, whatever. All right. And that is how you reload a single-use camera. Also, I just want to mention a couple safety things. So before you take these things apart, make sure the battery's out and try to fire off the flash to drain the capacitor, because there's a component inside here that can zap you. So make sure the batteries are out, flash, is disengaged, fire off the flash, make sure that you've, essentially emptied the capacitor, before moving forward. And, these things are different. Again, I don't know what brand this is. I got a roll of Fuji Superia 200 that came in initially. Your disposable may be different, but for the most part, I would probably think that the reloading process would be very similar. So, hey, I hope this is helpful. If it was, do me a favor and click that like button. And until the next video, we'll see you.